Evening and welcome. The President Trump-led trade war rocking both friends and foes tonight.
Tonight, Donald Trump is dominating headlines once more with a move that's rippling through the global economy. In a dramatic escalation of tensions between the U.S. and Europe, Trump has slapped a 25% tariff on European car imports, a decision unveiled days ago, framed by his administration as essential to fixing what they call decades of unfair trade practices. Across the Atlantic, the reaction has been fierce. The European Union is digging in for an all-out trade battle, retaliating with tariffs strategically aimed at America's economic core. This isn't just about pricier European cars in the U.S. It's a direct strike at industries vital to the American economy. Timing the blow perfectly, the European Commission reacted swiftly. Ursula von der Leyen, its president, declared Europe ready to defend its interests, vowing a robust response to U.S. tariffs. That response? Retaliatory duties worth 26 billion euros, targeting not just cars but agriculture, tech, and consumer goods. Crucially, these tariffs are precision strikes. The EU is zeroing in on goods from Republican strongholds: soybeans in Louisiana, home to House Speaker Mike Johnson, beef and poultry in Kansas and Nebraska, and crops from Alabama, Georgia, and Virginia. Sound familiar? During Trump's first term, his steel and aluminum tariffs triggered EU countermeasures on Harley-Davidsons, Bourbon, and Levi's. Now the cycle repeats, but with higher stakes. Trump's team claims the tariffs will revive U.S. manufacturing by forcing automakers to build domestically. Yet industry leaders and economists warn of backlash. The American Chamber of Commerce in the EU urges de-escalation, fearing a spiral into broader economic chaos. Europe, however, is bracing for a prolonged fight. Its reviving trade restrictions paused under Biden, set to take effect April 1st, followed by 19.6 billion euros in additional tariffs by mid-April. Who blinks first? U.S. automakers reliant on European parts, German transmissions, Italian components, face soaring costs and supply snarls. Meanwhile, Europe eyes new alliances, potentially pivoting toward China and Asia, reshaping global trade. Energy markets tremble too. U.S. LNG exports to Europe, once booming, now risk being sidelined as Europe explores alternatives. For American automakers, the timing is brutal. Ford, GM, and Tesla depend on European supply chains. Tesla's high-tech parts from Europe could spike production costs, forcing price hikes or profit squeezes. European tariffs on U.S. cars, 25% on Jeeps, Fords, Cadillacs, threaten to erode their already slim market share against German and Japanese rivals. Last year's 56 billion euros in U.S. auto exports to Europe now hang in the balance. Agriculture, another GOP-aligned sector, is in the crosshairs. Soybeans, beef, and poultry face EU tariffs, hammering farmers still scarred by Trump's China trade war. Midwest states, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, could see prices crash, testing Trump's rural base. Firms like Cargill and Tyson Foods scramble for new markets, but options are slim. Europe's pain is palpable too. BMW and Mercedes, with U.S. plants, may cut investments if tariffs bite. EU steelmakers, already battling Chinese competition, could lose 3.7 million tons of U.S. exports. Trump's team defends the tariffs as balancing EU's 10% car levy versus America's 2.5%. Critics call it economic warfare, risking jobs and alliances. EU Trade Chief Maros Shevchevich sought talks but found no compromise, stressing, "You need both hands to clap." Politically, Trump bets his America First stance will rally his base. Yet swing states like Michigan and Pennsylvania, home to auto jobs and soybean-dependent Iowa, could revolt if layoffs mount. Europe, meanwhile, treads a tightrope, resisting U.S. pressure without igniting a wider crisis. The fallout transcends trade. U.S.-EU unity on security, climate, and tech phrase. China looms, eager to exploit the rift by deepening EU ties. Japan and South Korea may seize auto opportunities if U.S. brands falter. Energy shifts could lock U.S. firms out of Europe, while tech sector collaboration, like semiconductor supply chains, faces disruption. Markets jitter as auto, energy, and farm stocks swing. Analysts warn of recession risks if tariffs drag on. Consumers face pricier cars, groceries, and gadgets. European buyers may abandon U.S. brands while American drivers see costs surge. In the end, trade wars have no winners. Trump's tariffs, meant to revive U.S. jobs, risk backfiring, costing jobs, inflaming allies, and ceding global influence. As April deadlines loom, the world watches. Will diplomacy prevail, or will economies brace for deeper collapse?